Hi, I'm Jelina Shepard, author of Overcoming Your Breakup, A Lover's Guide to Resilience. I have my own quote written by myself personally, and that quote is, when hard work doesn't pay off, dry your tears and work harder. The principle of hard work is going to hold true. So when you don't see your return or when you don't see the result that you want, just continue to keep working, stay at it, stay faithful, and eventually what it is you're trying to achieve will be in your hands.
Welcome back to Greater.Inc, everybody, where you know you are greater than yesterday, but you'll be even greater tomorrow. I have a special guest with me, Miss Jelina Shepard.
Hey, friends.
She is the author of Overcoming Your Breakup, out in stores, out on wherever you need to get it, you can get it. Before we jump into this interview, Jelina, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am 26. I'll be 27 literally in like a month and a few days, so looking forward to that. I'm a mother. I'm a full-time grad student pursuing my MBA, the general concentration. I am a singer, an educator, a mathematician, a lover. I'm a bunch of everything.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So where are you from originally?
Originally, I'm from Snow Hill, North Carolina.
Okay.
It's a really, really small town, maybe like 25 minutes outside of Greenville. Mm-hmm. You'll probably pass through it if you're trying to get to ECU for homecoming or for Halloween. Okay. Probably pass through that little small town.
Sounds good. So, well, we know you as also a singer, a big singer in gospel. What gave you your roots in singing? What made you want to start that?
So I grew up in church. Literally, my mother had me March 5th. 2.5 weeks later, we were back in church because she was the praise and worship leader for my uncle. Okay. And so I've been in church since I was a kid, and then my dad branched off to start his own ministry. Okay. And anybody know anything about being a PK, you got to find something to do in the church. Yeah. And so I started off singing behind my mom. I was always like her background, her support. Okay. And from there, it just kind of took a life of its own.
Oh, wow. So you're author.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about that. Not your books per se just yet, but just the mindset of it, being an author, having to write something from start to finish. Tell us a little bit about that.
So honestly, I never saw myself as being an author. That's something that kind of happened. Started writing after my best friend passed away, and I needed therapy. Okay. And so my pastor actually recommended me writing. He was like, even if you can't get here to talk to me, if you just write out what you want to say, write out how you're feeling, get me the letter, I'll read it and I'll respond. And so from there on, I just kind of started writing more. And instead of me telling him everything, I started kind of just confessing how I felt to myself. And so I started like a little journal, a little diary, I guess you could say. And then from there, it just kind of, again, took a life of its own. I started writing about things that were passionate to me, such as relationships, love. And when it comes to writing an actual book, that's probably the easiest part of being an author. Okay. Being an author is like the business side of your passion. Mm-hmm. So writing is the passion, but being an author is kind of how I make money off of my passion, I guess you could say. And so it was a lot of things that went into that, went into a business deal with the publishing company. And literally maybe a month before they were supposed to release my book, they had to shut down their company due to a major lawsuit, took all my money, took the book, everything was kind of tied up in them. So I had to reroute. And that was actually how I learned how to do the graphics, how to edit the book, how to design a cover and put a book together, lay it out, how to publish it, how to distribute it, how to set a price. And so from that experience, I've just kind of endeavored in different areas of being an author.
Got you. So let's talk about entrepreneurship real quick, because you just had to do everything an entrepreneur needs to do from start to finish to producing something and getting it to the public. Did you ever think of yourself as an entrepreneur through that process? And if so, what did that teach you?
You know what? I didn't even know I was an entrepreneur. I just never really thought of myself as being a person that would have her own business. Again, I was going through it and not even realizing what God was doing or who He was creating me to be or calling me to be. And once I got to the other side of actually having the book in my hand and I'm selling, I was like, oh, so I guess I am an entrepreneur. Yeah. It's stressful. Very stressful, but so rewarding when you hit that goal, when you actually can produce what it is you see in your head.
Most definitely. So let's talk about your book, Overcoming Your Breakup.
Yeah.
Let's talk. Where did that start from? How did that come about? let's talk about what was going on in your life before that book came about that made you be inspired to do it.
So many people don't know, I actually started Overcoming Your Breakup in 2015.
Okay.
I had a friend, we were really just friends, and he got he accepted employment in a different area of North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
And so when he told me, I was just very distraught, not necessarily to him, but inside I was like crushed. And I was like, why are you feeling all these different emotions? And so I had to figure out like what was going on within myself, and I was like, I don't want to feel like I have to get over somebody that I'm not even in a relationship with. Mm-hmm. And so I took a step outside of myself, and till Auntie Jones, I dedicated the book to her. We were in the car together, and she was like, well, what are some things you can do to kind of not be stuck or be so broken about this person having to leave your life? Mm-hmm. And from there, we sat in the car, and I kind of wrote out the 5 steps that it takes to overcome a breakup, just the blueprint. I didn't have any meat, any real substance to it. But from there, once I had the blueprint out, then he went on his way, and I kind of abandoned it a little bit because again, I was like, I've written one book, but I didn't know for sure that I was going to be like really writing books. Mm-hmm. And I met somebody else shortly after that, not taking the time needed, not following my own advice. Mm-hmm. And from there, the meat of Overcoming Your Breakup came from me having to overcome that relationship. Mm-hmm. And so it was a journey from 2015. I think I finished the book in 2017, and then I decided that I wanted to release it in 2018. Okay. So I did.
Okay. So for the people who might not have the book yet or want to get the book, what are some of, not the meat of it, but some of the tips that you can give them right now before they've read the book?
I'm only going to give one, and I'm going to give the very first step, because if you don't do that, nothing else is going to work out. So the very first step is to make a decision. Mm-hmm. A lot of times we kind of find ourselves navigating through heartbreak and not knowing where we're going. We don't know what the ultimate goal is. So if you make a decision, I offer some very, very, very deep questions that you have to ask yourself, and you have to literally analyze and break apart your relationship piece by piece. And you get to see it laid out, because it's an interactive book, and you get to see it laid out. You get to see the benefits, you get to see some of the cons of being in a relationship with that person. You get to see yourself. What are you giving to the relationship? What are you expecting to get out? Is this person meeting the needs that you have for yourself? If not, then you have to kind of make a decision about whether or not it's worth staying in that relationship. And the very last question within that step is, are they worth it? Are they worth the work? Are they worth, the pain that you're experiencing? Do you want to continue trying to invest in this relationship if you're not getting out what you need, or are you getting what you need? You're either going to be very appreciative of the relationship that you have, or you're going to see that you need to do something different.
I love that, make a decision. Why do you think like so many people stay on that fence though? Because I can speak to myself. I could have somebody right here that I want to grow with, yeah, and want that, but then on the other side, be looking at the other side, be like, all this I'm giving up. So why do you think there's so many people that's on that fence?
Partially, well, you're a guy, so I'm not gonna, guys are a little bit different.
I mean, we can talk about it.
Guys are a little bit different. Y'all are greedy, but ultimately, at the heart of the matter, I think people are just afraid, not really knowing. I think people are scared to take a step, because you never really know if that step is a step that you need to take. And so people are afraid to grab something else, and trying to keep their hand on something else, when really you can't really grasp everything that you need over here if you have one hand over here. And so it's a fear thing, I think, that just not knowing what to expect. Am I going to be able to get through this relationship? What is my life going to be like when they leave? And mindset wise, if you see the glass as being half full, then leaving something that's not benefiting you will never be a problem.
Okay, I actually like that. Holding on, being afraid. Yeah, that's true.
Like, I kind of want this, but I'm gonna hold on to this just in case, because I need a plan B. And most people don't realize that you need to just exhaust all of the efforts into plan A, because plan A could be everything that you thought it would be and more.
Mm-hmm. I like that. I only have a plan A, especially in relationships, because
okay.
I'm thinking about like if I'm doing this over here and doing that over here, you're right. I'm not giving this person 100% of an opportunity or a chance, and I'm not giving myself an opportunity, Because if I'm not giving 100%, I can't be receiving 100% either.
I definitely think when people are in relationships and there are situationships and there's, you know, seeing one person and trying to see somebody else, I always felt like you can't really see the full potential or see everything that you need to see in one area if you're trying to focus in different areas. You're gonna always miss something, and I think that's what leads a lot of people to making the wrong decisions.
I like that. I like that. So through your journey of writing your book, publishing it, creating it, how have you seen yourself grow? How have you seen yourself improve?
Man, if anything, my emotions, I've had to be in check of them along the way. Setbacks and disappointments and working with other people, trying to get them to kind of come in and help and outsource. I've learned a lot about myself business-wise. I've learned how to do great business. I've learned how to be disciplined in what it is I want. I've learned how to not give up, how to be ambitious, how, you know, I've learned a lot. And emotion-wise, you know, you can't just cry when it doesn't work. You gotta dry your tears and get back on the horse and ride on.
Yeah. So you just gave a lot of advice, especially getting up and keep on moving. But if there's a young woman or a young man right now who has that idea of writing a book or has that idea of following his dream or her dream, what would be some advice for you that you have for them?
When it comes to writing a book, write the book. And I say that because I get a lot of questions. Well, you know, how did you start writing a book? And that's always a weird question to me, because I say, well, literally I just took what was in my head or what I wanted to say and I put it either on paper or in a Word document. If you want to write the book, whatever it is you want to talk about, you just have to put it out. You can always go back and piece it together. That's exactly what happened with this book. I would write different blogs, and from there I was able to take different pieces that I had already written over the years and piece it together to make a really great book. So I say, you know, write daily, write often, write as much as you can. Even when you have writer's block, then maybe just go find something to write about, but don't stop writing and write as much as you can.
You talked about how your pastor told you to start writing, and that allowed you to express yourself. Are there any other things that you do to self-improve, to take self-care of yourself?
I go back and I read it. You know, a lot of times people just kind of write, or they'll produce something and they'll just kind of abandon it. Like, it's out there, but how are you reflecting on what it is you put out? I believe in reflecting on decisions that you make, reflect on what you write, reflect on how you feel, reflect on past relationships. Just reflect as much as you can, because I spend time with myself a lot, and my writing keeps me accountable. So if I look and I see how I felt in regards to a relationship or in regards to something else, I make sure I don't make the same mistakes again to make me feel this way. And sleep, lots and lots of sleep when you get it.
Need it. Okay, so you gave us this first step of overcoming the breakup. Let's talk to the gentlemen that are watching.
Hey guys.
Because you're a woman and women expect certain things. What do you expect from a man coming into a relationship? What do you expect him to have in order?
The most important thing, I expect him to have principles, and I expect his principles to kind of match mine. So one principle that's extremely important to me, is non-negotiable, is honesty. Honesty. Even if you're not sure that you're ready for something serious, I need to know that so I can kind of know how to navigate myself. I don't want to meet a guy and I'm thinking that, you know, we're both on the same page as for a long-term relationship, and you just trying to smash. The two, it's just not gonna work. Honesty is one thing. Let me see. He has to have a vision. He has to have an idea about life, where he wants to go, because ultimately I'm coming in to help you get where you want to be. So if you don't have a vision, then why am I here? What can you're not going to have anything for me to do, which means I'm going to become an individual that's wasting time. And I like to be a person that's very productive. I like to be a person that's accomplishing goals. So if you don't have any goals, we can't connect. So I would just say honesty and vision are two important things.
Sounds good to me. So where can people get in contact with you? Where can people buy the book? Where can people follow you, engage with you?
Okay, so buying the book, you can buy the book actually on Amazon, online. You can probably find it online at Target, Barnes and Nobles. But I prefer if you go to my website, withlovejshepard.com. Again, that's withlovejshepard.com. And I prefer you to order the book directly from me. Reason being is I get all of the proceeds. Granted, if you go through Amazon, you get like a certain percentage, but I make more money off of my book if you buy it straight from me. And so it's not about, for me, it's not about being a bestseller. It's not about being well known. It's really about getting that book out there and helping others while helping myself. So you can get it from all those different outlets. If you want to talk to me, hook up, hang out or whatever, communicate. Instagram, what's my Instagram name? Oh yeah, at J.Shepard __. Okay, at J.Shepard __. I have a really difficult handle. Same thing for Twitter. It's just at J.Shepard _. Facebook, Jelina Shepard. And of course, my website, I do have an area where you can literally send me messages via email. It'll come to me and I can respond right back to you. So, yeah.
Cool. One question though before we leave. I know a lot of people, I love Taraji P. Henson, and she always talks about her story of having a child, graduating Howard, then going to California to follow after her dreams at acting, and all the naysayers who told her that she would never be able to do it. What was your experience with some naysayers that you have a child, you want still following your dreams? How do you combat that? How do you keep pushing?
I'm a person, I love it when you tell me I can't do something, because I just, not that I like to be right, but I do get some level of gratification when I am right. I can be wrong, but I like to be right. So if you tell me I can't do something and it's something that I really want to do, I'm probably going to go above and beyond to prove you wrong. So when it comes to the naysayers, I encourage you, please do, because all you're doing is pushing me to be greater. Pun intended.
Well, it is greater than yesterday, but you'll be even greater tomorrow. This is Zachary Tanner. This is
Jelina Shepard.
And